Welcome to Kitpichai Vitaya School online class.
Hello, I'm Jason with ScienceAndMath.com. Today we're going to continue working with fractions, and today we're going to learn how to write fractions out as words. Because now we've learned the basics in the last section of how to write a fraction down in terms of numbers. Now we probably should get a little practice with how do you write them out in words, because a lot of times in your problems, in your word problems, everything will be written out in terms of words. So let's get a little bit of practice with that today. What if you had the fraction 1/2? This is a fraction I know you've all seen. And what it means is if you cut something into two pieces and you only take one of those pieces away, that represents 1/2. How do you write it down in terms of words? Well, 1/2 is written like this. 1, the number 1, and then half. So you write that down as 1/2. So if you have 1/2 of a gallon of milk or 1/2 of a candy bar or whatever, that's the way that you would write that down. Now, what if we had, as another fraction, this fraction here? 1 out of 3 pieces. So here I chop a pizza into 3 pieces, and I only take one of these pieces away and give it to a friend. That fraction is written here on the board. How do we write that down? That's called 1/3. 1, because it's from the top, it's one piece that I'm giving it. And out of 3 pieces, you write that as third. So this is 1/3 of a pizza, or 1/3 of a pie. All right? Now let's go here and say, what if we have this fraction here? 3 out of 4 pieces. This means I chop a piece of wood into 4 equal pieces. I take 3 of those pieces and give it to a friend, and the fraction of that wood that I'm giving to my friend is written as 3 from the top. Out of 4 pieces, you write it as fourths. So you should see a pattern by now. The first thing you write down is what the top thing is, right? So 3 here, 1 here, 1 here. The second part is basically what the bottom is. So 4 turns into fourths, 3 turns into third, and 2 turns into half, like that. All right, let's go ahead and move on and say, what if we have 2 out of 7 pieces? How would you write that down in terms of English? Well, you have 2 pieces that I'm giving out of 7, so you write that as 2. And you have 7 pieces, so it's sevenths. So 7 is here, the implies that it's a fraction. So 2/7 sounds just like 2/4. That comes from 4. And then finally, the last little example we'll do here, what if you had something like 10 pieces out of 19? I know it looks like a crazy fraction, but it's very possible I could chop a pizza up into 19 equal slices, and then I give 10 of those slices to my friend. So if I do that, what fraction would I write down in a book or in a paper? I would write down that I gave him 10 because that's the top, 19ths because that's the bottom, 19ths. So 10 19ths. And the way you read it is exactly what we're representing with the math. 10 pieces out of 19, that's what it means. So again, to recap, fractions is just a way for you to write down when you have less than 1 of something. If you have less of 1 of something, then you are chopping it up into an equal number of pieces, and you're giving so many of those pieces, that's the quantity you're representing, that's what you're giving to a friend, or that's what you're putting in the bank, or that's something. So if you have, for instance, if you have 3/4 of a pizza or 3/4 of a pizza, this can also be written as 3/4, because 4 can go and mean quarter also. But 3/4 is typically how you'll write it. If I have 3/4 of a pizza in the fridge, what it means is I have less